I played.
Oh, you get to start.
I do get to start. You knew this.
I know. These are the subtle arts of podcasting.
Subtle. I played Tomb Raider 2013.
Ah, yes.
This is not my first experience with this game.
No, it's not.
It's been a hot minute, though. It was developed...
Have you gone full circle, or are you still at the halfway point?
Huh?
Your opinions on this have changed wildly over the years.
Sort of. Sort of.
It's not a circle, it's a spiral.
Roll credits. It was developed by Crystal Dynamics and published by Square Enix. It's the 10th main Tomb Raider game and a reboot, kind of. It was a reboot at the time, and now it's not entirely a reboot, ? It's confusing. It's the first game in the Survivor trilogy. Came out for, I believe that would be 7th gen in 2013, so 360, PS3, so on and so forth. And then when the next gen launched, the same year / later, it was ported up to Xbox One, PS4, and so forth. I'm trying to think of what angle I want to take with this. Good game.
Start with the story. What happens?
Fine. You start off as Lara Croft on one of her first adventures ever. Lara.
Thank you.
Lara Croft.
Thank you. It's Lara.
Lara Croft.
There's no U in Laura.
Yeah, I know. One of her first adventures ever. This is the whole point of this new game was like, oh my gosh, look, she's so young and naive and she doesn't know what she's doing and blah, blah, blah. She's going off to a reskinned Bermuda Triangle to go find ancient Chinese secrets. The lost city of Yamatai. And they have all their spooky legends and myths. She's got a team of people. They're on a boat. The boat gets fucked up because they're going into the Bermuda Triangle. It's called, I think it's the Devil's Triangle.
Yep.
It's the Bermuda Triangle, obviously.
I've seen X-Files.
Yeah. They get shipwrecked, and then a lot of fuck shit happens. All of her friends get scattered. Some of the crewmates die. They encounter a cult that lives within this island triangle bullshit who worship what was it? Queen Himiko, who's like the big lady who used to run Yamatai before it like sunk into the ocean or whatever. Before it became a lost city. And then she goes fucking sicko mode. The tonal dissonance in this game is really funny. So at the time, it was very well received. I really like this game. I want to preface all of these things with, I do really like this game. But at the time, this was during the gritty 2010s reboot of everything. So it was like, cool, we're going to make it more realistic and grounded, which mostly meant we made her boobs smaller. That was like a very big thing at the time.
I think it was more the violence.
It's also the violence. It's the very, very, very gruesome violence in this game. It was I recently found this out. It was initially it was intended to be a survival horror game, which is why so much of the game that we do have, there's like kind of two halves of the gameplay, where half of it is like really gross, gruesome dungeons and blood and cult stuff, and then the rest of it's like a bit more traditional Tomb Raider, outside, pretty nature, blah, blah, blah. And it's very interesting flip-flopping between the two things. The idea of that is like, you get to watch her evolve into the person she becomes, which is fine as an idea, but it is very funny because Tomb Raider has never been deep and Lara Croft has always been high-key a dickhead. Like, she's not a good person in the old games. She's just, I don't know, she's not great. She does do the mass murder and like stealing stuff. She's not actually a good lady. She's just very fun to play as. So trying to recontextualize that and then give her growth from like a regular college student into like, what would you have to go through to become kind of a psycho, but like we don't want to explicitly tell you she's a little crazy now, but like she is totally crazy now.
It's not really making sense though, because she learns the power of friendship and they're all family.
See, that's the fun thing, is this game does simultaneously do you do actually need friends, but every other mission she has to go, I gotta do this alone because I have to go shoot 87 guys in the head.
Yep.
And that's just what her arc is in the next 2 games as well, effectively, which is totally fine. I do like that as that's like one of those like cyclical lessons you kind of have to keep learning over life. I feel like, at least for myself, where you'll go through periods of being like, no, I'm gonna bootstraps, and then you're like, that was fucking dumb, and then you slowly creep back into bootstrapping, and like you just kind of keep repeating that over and over again.
You frequently shoot guys in the head and then learn that family.
I am not going to admit to a crime on this podcast.
I feel like you have.
I've definitely admitted to crimes. I don't know. I don't mind that as like a kind of a cyclical lesson that needs to be reinvested in from time to time. But yeah, over the growth of the story, we see, her first kill, her first having to, rip apart an animal for juicy bits. She goes through inhuman amounts of suffering in this game. Like, I forgot, because it has the aesthetic vibe. It's got all the shaky cam and the particle effects and the lens getting gunk on it, so it makes you feel like it's like, oh, this is super realistic. She falls like 100 feet on her back like 100 times in this game. Like in cutscenes.
She's got a strong back.
Not when I'm done.
Please.
She'd be dead so many times over. It's just one of those funny things.
You're
where, like,
shooting a little Derringer. I know better than that.
Actually, it's a WMD.
It's a 38 snub.
It's actually a 44 Magnum, but
Keep telling yourself that.
Yeah, so you see her kind of simultaneously get like cool survivor skills where she learns how to do stuff, and her mentor dies and sacrifices himself for the team and blah 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 blah. But also you see her like slowly digress into madness because she does inordinate amounts of violence. And like, this is not just like the what's the term? Ludonarrative dissonance, one of my favorite autism terms, where like the gameplay and the cutscenes have like borderline different tones, or they're kind of telling different stories. It's not that. The game is explicitly like, she is kind of like losing her mind and becoming a little bit of a sicko, which will only get worse with time. But I like it. Like, I don't know. It's weird because it wants to have its cake and eat it too. Where it's like, look, she's got to learn and she doesn't have any skills, and that's fine. It does have a little bit of a weird stank on it because it is no longer a survival horror game. It is now an action adventure game with like some horror elements in it, but it retains a lot of that flavor in like the obstacle course or like set piece deaths, where she'll get fucking impaled 87 times or like crushed by rocks, and then the numerous times she's grabbed by men and thrown up against objects, and it does feel it is rapey. It is rapey. Like, there's no getting around that. I'm sorry. I replayed it. I was like, yeah, no, this is rapey. But I like it. It's fun. It's just
You can't follow that sentence up with that.
Yes, I can.
The game is fun.
The game is fun.
There you go.
I think its story needed a lot more polishing in the tone department. The plot is fine. The characters are okay. Only a couple of them will carry over into games moving forward. The big one being Jonah, my boy, and pretty much everybody else can like eat shit and die. Half of them. Yeah, half of them die anyways. It is just kind of weird. I think the later 2 games get the tone well more under control. It feels a lot more unified on that front. Whereas this one does have a lot of that like voyeuristic, look at the little petite woman running through the woods getting her clothes ripped off by branches, and she's getting attacked by wolves, and it feels a little icky. A little, sometimes. Not the whole game, but like enough where it throws up a little flag in my brain.
That's better worded than past flags that you've had about it, where you were like, I think this game is about beating women.
I don't think that's what I said.
Pretty close to what you said.
I don't believe that, but
this is like a power fantasy for just beating the shit out of Lara.
I so don't think that's what I said, but whatever. I think it's confused. It's confused. I think it has, because it was the early 2010s, it has the vestiges of like second wave feminism, where it does kind of have the girl power tone to it, but it doesn't really follow through on that. And it's like, what's really cool about empowering women, making her have no power in the beginning and like making her gain it. It's like, that's kind of ass backwards actually.
To be fair, when you were saying those things, you were like, I think this is bad and we should not like this game.
Yeah, no, I was just kind of dissecting it without having replayed it in a while and whatever. It's very confuzzled. So, story is fine. Gameplay,
yes,
goated with the sauce. The other major influence, the big influence of this at the time was Uncharted, because while Tomb Raider kind of went down the tubes a little bit, Uncharted popped up, took a lot of the similar-ish gameplay style and a lot of the aesthetic, ran with that, and then now that Tomb Raider was coming back after a short hiatus, they took a lot of Uncharted energy, and then they just kind of kept moving forward, and then Uncharted is nowhere to be seen right now.
Yep.
God knows why.
Yep.
So it is more of a shooter game than it is a platforming, like, exploration title. There's still a lot of exploration and platforming. It just, the polish of gameplay is balanced much further in the gunplay than it is in the platforming.
Because when you're shooting the bow and arrow and the circle goes over the other circle and you get that perfect headshot,
I nut every time. Yeah. So big, I guess, major change for this one is there's a lot more weapon variety, and the big implementation is the bow. The bow is the best thing that has like ever happened in this fucking series. It borderline doesn't make any sense why she keeps using it after this setting, but I don't care because vibes. Yeah. It's cool. It's cool.
A stealth weapon.
Yeah, sometimes, not like Lara Croft has ever been known for doing stealth. She usually runs in with 2 fucking Uzis and shoots dinosaurs, but it's fun to have the option to do stealth. And it does add a little bit more tangibility to the game, which is cool. So yeah, the combat loop is maybe it's like 50-50 exploration to combat during your primary like story missions. You have basic variety of weapons like shotgun, handgun, rifle, bow. You collect upgrades for all of them. Kind of basic stuff, to be honest. Like, this is not innovation at all. This is all stuff you've seen before, but in a very good skin, which is totally fine. The bow mechanic is so fucking good. You hold left trigger to aim down sights, and then you hold the right trigger to draw the bow, and then you wait for good timing and like your arm to steady, and it's got like a tension release, so you can't just hold that shit forever until you get a certain upgrade. It's immaculate. Because hunting is like a moderately sized mechanic in this game as well. You need resources, so you need to kill boar and deer and birds and shit to get their goop. You need their goop and their balls, you know, to make weapon upgrades and stuff and make arrows. No, you can't make arrows. Never mind. That's the next game. Derp. So it's like a slight cover-based shooter. It is basically just Uncharted's gunplay. I would say like Uncharted 3, I think, where Uncharted 1's pretty rough, to be honest.
Oh, yeah.
I think like Uncharted 2, Uncharted 3, I would
say a little bit of a precursor to 4, too.
A bit, yeah. The gunplay is pretty strong. It does have the weapon upgrades are noticeably helpful, which is one of the things I usually complain about when you have upgrade trees or attachments or anything like that, is they usually don't feel like they do much.
0.2% better.
You can feel it. It's quite important. When you get like a stabilization for the rifle, you can fucking tell, which is great. Yeah. That is very, very helpful. It has a cover system. You like gently hug waist-high objects. You'll auto-crouch. It works fine enough. I think because there's drastically less enemies than there is in an Uncharted game, the cover system works a lot better on that front. It's basically the same thing. It just doesn't... because you're not getting flooded so much with enemies, you have the time to weed them out, so it doesn't feel like you're getting pinpointed from 8 different directions all the time. So the like moderately shoddy cover system does its job okay. There is a stealth system. Technically, like, it does work off of vibes, but I'm kind of a sucker for the vibes stealth systems when they don't actually have like a lot of mechanics built into them. I can't tell you if it's proximity or whether it's if you're sprinting or what actually makes enemies detect you, because sometimes you'll be dead in front of them and they don't see you. I don't get it. It's really wonky, but it's very satisfying to go around doing stealth kills in a section and just choking motherfuckers out with your bow. It's cool. Platforming is good. It has a good amount of linear set-piece sections, another very heavy influence from Uncharted. You'll be sliding through tunnels or going through rivers. You have to climb on a plane. That's like the big set piece of the opening of the game. You have to climb up a derelict plane stuck in a waterfall. I think it telegraphs very well when you're going into a heavily scripted section versus when you're just kind of exploring. You have basic jump, mantle. You can hold on to ledges. It's pretty straightforward stuff. You get a climbing claw, another wonderful addition to this game. So you can climb onto rocky surfaces. It's pretty straightforward stuff. It's not like...
Is this one as Metroidvania-ish with the upgrades?
No.
As the next couple?
The next couple are much more Metroidvania. This one is pretty... You can nearly 100% every area as you go.
Yeah.
There's only a couple of things that will be restricted based on a couple of upgrades you haven't gotten, either usually through story progression.
Yeah.
You can attach rope to your arrows to make zip lines. You can go up and down. You can pull doors when they have rope attached to them. Flaming arrows. It's kind of what you'd expect. The basic exploration puzzles are fine. They're not very challenging. Most of the difficulty I had with finding collectibles was random bullshit, like falling off of ledges I should have been able to hold on to, or just weird hitbox alignment, collision detection stuff. I think because it was primarily meant to be more of a shooter than it is meant to be an exploration game, they just didn't polish it up enough. It's not a huge problem, but it is certainly the time I died the most was when I'm trying to jump off of ledges and do random bullshit. I'm like, that's not the direction I pointed in. Thanks. And then I go, ah! And then I fall into some fucking spikes. I'm like, oh, Jesus. Ugh, blood. Ugh. The collectible balance, I think, is very good in this game, especially. I think this is my preferred length and collectible count. You have, all of them are nice diegetic collectibles. You have relics from the area, which are obviously awkwardly placed in little boxes around, which are very silly, but you find, look, it's a flute, it's a hairpin, it's all very cute little stuff. And Lara gives you a little explanation of what it is, and it's oh, because she's an archaeologist. She's oh my gosh, look at the thingamabob. It's the thingamabob from the blah 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 period. There's probably 100 of those scattered around the various areas of the map. You get audio and diary entries, some of which are from the cult that you're being attacked by. Some of them are from your crew members. Fun thing with those, you can actually find out about the twist of the game where it turns out the bad guy is the bad guy way fucking earlier than you do in the game. Not it's telegraphed pretty heavily, but if you find the audio logs in it, if you're searching around for them, not you go out of you look in a weird area, you zoot across the map and you find one out of order. Just the order they're presented in, you can get information that's out of order. And then Lara will pretend it's a twist in the plot when she actually knows because you found the information, which is just kind of silly. I like the salvage system. Almost all of your upgrades are basically just based on getting parts, just generic parts from crates that are scattered around the island because it's all washed up junk. It does get very repetitive, but it doesn't feel overly excessive. I don't know. Those are neat. There's challenges for each one of the map areas. It's not entirely an open world, but it's not just linear levels. I don't know where to put it. This is kind of where I also prefer my open worlds to be. Not in terms of its detailed quality, but it is slightly similar to a Souls game-ish, in that it's a designed path with optional areas that you can kind of do out of order, sort of, but not really. But it's still kind of open, but not. I don't know. It's in that weird, it's highly curated, but it's meant to be full of exploration. Each area has challenges, like shooting down 5 totems or burning 3 flags or whatever. Some of them can be pretty finicky. There's a couple of ones where it's wind chimes. They're really hard to find. Some of them are very easy. They will give you additional XP and some, I think, salvage. They count towards overall completion. Most of those I did on my initial just going through to do story stuff. I would just complete them for the section before moving on. It comes with your basic achievements for section completion, 100%, blah blah, as well as getting a certain number of weapon kills, quirky challenges like shooting C4 out of the air or dynamite or whatever, shooting an explosive out of the air and roping enemies off of platforms and stuff like that. The presentation is dated because it does reek of early 2010s edgy, borderline like nu metal, weird. I don't know. I love it. I love that. I do that. It's aged like shit, but I like it. It has an excessive amount of handheld camera shots, a lot of shaky cam, a lot of like the lens getting mud on it. It's a bit much. It does kind of detract from it after a while. It's a little obnoxious. The menu is fine. I don't know. Like it's just a list. It's nice because it's so straightforward. It's very clean.
Simple menus.
Yeah, the music is good. It's nothing particularly special. I believe there's a new main like Tomb Raider theme, but it serves its job. It hits the dramatic moments fine enough. It's just nothing like spectacular. The audio design is very good. I think that's one of the parts that's aged the best. Weapons all have very unique sounds. They're mixed very well. You can hear enemies from pretty far away just having casual conversations. Ironically, they can't hear you huffing and puffing your way up to them, but you know. There are little audio cues for completing challenges or finding a salvage box. All those little things have nice little musical notes or motifs or whatever. Visually, it's still really fucking good. There's the aesthetic presentation element. The directorial choices have aged a bit, but like the general fidelity is still surprisingly high for being 13 years old. The hair count is immaculate for what it is. You can tell Lara's the main character because her hair looks the best. It's running good graphics. Graphics go good. Like it's attempting moderate photorealism with some stylized elements.
It's got quite the color grade to it.
It does, but only in some areas. I don't know. It's vibrant enough. Yeah. I think. I think
it helps cover up some of the shortcuts in the graphics.
For sure. There's very heavy shadows. There's very heavy texturing on like rocks and stuff. There's a lot of like kind of fake shadows. I think the lighting engine is still pretty good though. Like it holds up pretty well. The facial animations are also still pretty good. There's definitely it feels like the performance was outpacing the technology, where I can see some of the motion capture performances for some of the characters, and I can kind of, like, the eyes are dead, but I can see what the face is doing, and it's like, damn, like, the performance is good, but the tech is aged. It's hard to explain that.
Yeah.
But those are all pretty good. The woman who does Lara in this trilogy of games, I really fucking love. Mm-hmm. Some of her voice lines do get a little annoying just because they're repetitive. It's not the performance. It's just the fact that there's only 3 options for, I don't know, landing a certain way or whatever, and eventually those will get annoying. But she is phenomenal. I'm a little sad that she's not the one moving forward, but it also she did it for 3 games is a good chunk of time. They do have a new voice actress moving forward for the upcoming remake and the new game, but I did quite like this one. She did a good job with the weird direction she was given and some rough dialogue here and there. She feels believable. She's engaging. I actually give a shit about her character. I don't really give a shit about her BFF / potential lover. I don't give a fuck. But I like Lara as a character. I like how much she talks to herself. It actually feels good. Usually that's obnoxious in a game, especially in a movie where you have people yammering onto themselves. But for her, it seems reasonable in a scenario like that. Like, just with all the weird bullshit going on, and whenever you stop at a campfire, she'll just yammer at the camera, basically. She'll just be thinking to herself, and you're hearing her thoughts. I like it. It works well. I played the Definitive Edition, which is the next gen at the time version. So I played the Xbox One version of the game. I 100%ed it in 20 hours, I believe. About 12 of those was me playing the story. I did it on hard. There's an additional difficulty above hard, if I remember correctly. I've owned this game forever, so well worth the money. Good time. There's a whole other multiplayer that I can't even talk about. This is the first Tomb Raider with multiplayer. I heard good things. The servers are shut down and I can't play it. And I never played it when it came out. So I wish I could tell you about it.
I think I did a couple times way back, but I don't remember anything about it.
Yeah, it's like an asymmetrical gameplay mode or something. It sounds okay. It's just I've never got the chance and now I can't. So frustrating that half the achievement list is taken up by multiplayer achievements, but it was also during the era where every game had a multiplayer mode. Like it's this, Assassin's Creed, and Arkham Origins are the ones that immediately come to mind as like, did any of these really need a multiplayer?
Doom.
100%.
I hate that there's multiplayer achievements in those games.
That is frustrating, but Doom did have multiplayer way back in the beginning. Just not like it was in 2016. 2016 was a very different type of multiplayer. But that one does also piss me off because those servers aren't dead. They're not down. They're just dead.
There's no way to get them.
Yeah.
I have like 100% in 16 and Eternal, except for multiplayer shit.
Same.
And it's like half the achievements.
I have it in 2016. I do not in Eternal. At some point, I'm
really close if I don't.
Yeah. Yeah. Methinks A tier.
Wow.
Maybe high B. But I really like this one. I feel like the balance is good. The balance of gameplay, the mixture of what you're doing, how it's presented, the amount of slight grind sometimes, the story works well enough, you know. I wish it was a bit more of an original concept. I actually do kind of wish they did try a survival horror game. That could have been very interesting, because I feel like that would have then so clearly been trying not to be the Lara Croft does 87 backflips with 2 Uzis, and like it would have cleared up the distinction I guess they're trying to make. It would have made that a little bit better, but
back when it came out, a lot of people blasted it for only having like 7 tombs to raid in a Tomb Raider game.
Yeah, I actually entirely forgot about that. Yeah, the tombs are there. There's just basic puzzles. There's only a few.
It gets a lot better in the next one.
It does. I don't mind that it doesn't have a lot, though. I know that sounds dumb because it is Tomb Raider, but I don't mind the excuse of like, well, she's kind of busy trying to not die. Like, there's some bullshit going on. I know that's also kind of dumb. I don't know.
I think it's hard to balance it. I don't know about the old games, but like, I'm willing to bet this is the first open world Tomb Raider, so it's like, how do you really balance diving into 20 tombs in an open world or whatever? I don't know. It's weird.
It feels like there's enough to bite on. Like, you can do a tomb probably on your first try in like 5 to 10 minutes. It'll get you, I believe it's a weapon upgrade, I think.
Treasure, I thought?
I don't remember. It's a decent reward. It's fine. They're all pretty simple. There's only like 1 room per tomb. There's only really 1 puzzle. There isn't like a puzzle and then a platforming section and then another puzzle or whatever. Later games absolutely fix that problem. So I feel like it's okay. I do think, because I think you could actually compare it directly to Assassin's Creed, the Ezio trilogy, where they had like going into tombs. They actually did do very good tomb raiding in those games. That was a proper side quest. That was a good half an hour of parkour puzzles and weird bullshit puzzles and platforming and a chase sequence, and then you get this stuff. These are definitely shallow, but I don't know. The rest of the game's engaging enough where I don't really mind. I like that it does have a different focus, but I do also like that the games after this kind of not homogenize in a bad way, but they really balance between the 2 eras, I think, very well.